For those in the audience getting to know you here for the very first time, care to share where you were born?
I was born in Washington, D.C., Greater Southeast.
And care to share where you were raised as well? Does it get any more specific than that?
No, I was raised up 30 Sam. Came from the South, but I'm raised up 30 Sam.
And care to share where you reside these days?
30 Sam.
Now, when it comes to your upbringing, being raised in that area, specifically that 37 that you mentioned here, what was that really like growing up in that area for you?
You know how it go, man. The trenches, you hear me? Battle of the fitness.
Now, when it comes to that phrase there that you just used, the trenches,
Yeah.
for those in the audience that have heard this phrase depicted in music, seen this phrase depicted in music videos and those type of visuals, television, movies, video games, things of that nature, but have never had a chance to experience any of that in real life, what were the trenches really like?
Man, it was fun, for real. Just fun. It's a lot of fun, for real. A lot of fun. It ain't what people make it out to be. It's a lot of fun, though.
Now, speaking of fun and growing up in that area for you, what was the top point during your upbringing in that environment? What was your highest point or most positive moment growing up there?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. It's a lot of them, for real, like blowing up in the music, for real. Just coming up from being from there, just then blowing up in the music. Because we got a lot of stars from up that jump, so me blowing up, I'm like, man, damn. It was cool.
Now, let's talk about that history there with that for a second. Why or how did you get into music from the very beginning?
Nah, I'm gonna say I got into music. Like, I was going to the studio, Lonely My Man. I was going to the studio with Ahkdaclicka. Then he like, you need to get on the track. I got on the track with Ahk, and then they like, keep rapping. But I wasn't really on no rap time for real. And one night, then I go to the studio with Savage. Savage threw me on the song. So it just like, man, I might as well just go ahead and take off with it. Then I did my little single jump. It did what it's supposed to do. So I'm like, man, why not?
Now, can you share these titles to any of these songs here you're referencing? The song with No Savage and the single.
Me and Savage did a song, but we ain't never drop it on none for real. So once we did that, it was like, it was cool. Then I did a single, the jump called Active. It was cool. That jump went up, but I had went in for like a little 5-month jump. It wasn't nothing though. I had went in, but when I came on Savage, me and Savage did that Critical. Then once that Critical blew up, I'm like, I gotta keep doing it.
Now, speaking of that time there that you did,
Yeah.
that 5 months, is there anything else you want to mention about that whole ordeal or question you want to ask people want to know just about that?
Nah, it wasn't nothing. It was my first time over there though, but it wasn't nothing over there. It wasn't nothing. Just adapted my environment.
Care to share the charge you were sentenced for back then?
Nah, it wasn't nothing, just current appeals by license.
And was that sentence the result of a plea deal or something you lost in trial?
No, I was a plea deal, first shot.
Now, thinking back on plea deals, what's your opinion on those?
Nah, it depends on what plea deal you take. I ain't take no debrief. I don't take no debrief. And when you incriminate another guy in your plea deal, that's wild. I ain't doing nothing like that.
When it comes to plea deals, were you offered several plea deals? Do you take the first one you receive? How does that work? And this is for those in the audience maybe that are about to experience that, or something of that nature is going to happen to them, and they've got to decide.
They're gonna come with a couple plea deals. You just can't dive on the first one, because the first one gonna always be outrageous. So you just gotta take the one that's best for you.
Now, again, circumstances could be different for everybody, especially when it comes to your case versus other people watching this. But there are some that reject plea deals altogether. In your case, when you zoom out and think about how everything played out, do you wish you would have rejected it and took it to trial, or were you okay with the end result?
A part of me do, and a part of me don't. So I'm like, man, it was my first charge anyway. When I took the plea, I was coming home already though. So it was, I already did 5 months. I already had 5 months in when I took the plea. So it was like, man, I just take this, don't get out of people's way.
And do you remember what age this was in your life when all of this took place?
I was like 19.
And care to share where you're stationed at during your incarceration?
Nah, DC jail, DC jail.
So this was county.
Nah, we ain't got no county, DC jail.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. You're right. That's correct. Okay, now, when it comes to this charge, is this something that is expunged? Is this something that can be expunged in the future for you?
Man, I don't know, man. Them people's playing a dangerous game.
Just curious there. Now, okay, last question just about that experience that you've endured for 5 months here. Now, circumstances could be different for everybody, once again, but can you give the audience 5 tips when it comes to surviving that environment?
Be a man. I only got one tip for him. Be a man.
Now, when it comes to your upbringing here, okay, you've shared your highest point in your life, which was the music side of things. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, what was maybe your lowest point in the 37th for you and growing up in that environment? What was maybe your worst experience, your bottom point for you growing up there?
Nah, I'm gonna say just being fucked up. Trying to find a way for real. That's the lowest point, nigga. Just trying to find a way, just doing everything and anything, but still ain't getting no progression out of it. You get what I'm saying?
And is that in reference to poverty? Is that in reference to something deeper than that maybe here?
Nah, I'm gonna say poverty for real, but shit played out how it's supposed to though.
At your bottom point when it came to poverty, what was that like for you? What was your worst moment just dealing with poverty? How bad did things get for you at one point in your life?
Nah, damn, it was bad. It wasn't really that bad like that, cause you know you gonna find a way, but just like sleeping in hallways, and not cause I ain't got to, but that's just when I'm on. Like I don't want to ask my mother for nothing. I ain't ask my family for nothing. I'm on my own. I'm a man, so sleeping in hallways, just trying to find a way for real. Sleeping in vacants, just trying to find a way.
And what age do you think, or what grade were you in perhaps at that time in your life?
Nah, I was still in probably like 12th grade, like 18, just trying to find a way though. I ain't want to ask my mother or my family for nothing. Sleeping in hallways, vegans, thugging.
And how long do you think that lifestyle was like for you?
Nah, I'm gonna say probably I went through that for like 6 months, and then I just found a way.
And care to share what that way was for you?
Can't tell you. Found a way.
But you are on the other side of poverty at this point.
Ain't no secret, ain't no doubt about that.
How does that feel?
Feel amazing.
Now, when it comes to your upbringing, okay, winding down some questions just here about that. How were you able to survive the 37? Was there a key for you, perhaps, growing up in that environment?
Nah, well, really, I ain't got to. I get what you're saying, though, but like, let's say, just being me.
And just asking because there are some who don't make it.
Nah, you're right about that. Just being me.
So just wondering what maybe your secret was, for lack of a better phrase. Now, there are some people who say things like, don't know if I'll make it to see the age of 18. Maybe 21, for example. Have you ever had these thoughts growing up in DC?
Nah, I had them thoughts, because I lost my best friends when they was 18. I had them thoughts, though, but I'm just like, man, I'm thugging. You know how that go.
Now, be that as it may, knowing what you know now,
Yeah.
hypothetically speaking, what would you have said to your younger self back then, if anything?
Man, I feel like my younger self I was doing cool. Ain't nothing I could tell him, yeah.
And that's no problem there. There's some people that have that same answer as you. Ask you a variety of questions here when it comes to your upbringing. Is there anything else you want to mention about it just on that subject matter there?
Nah.